everyone, how's it going? I hope you are great. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Arumdani and I'm from English Standard Program of Nusa Cendana University. So in this video, I would like to analyzing a powerful live poem titled Nothing. Can you guess it, guys? Nothing. I know that is song. Yeah, I know I'm not good at all in singing. Yeah, sorry. I'm just kidding and for relaxing our discussion, of course. So the title of this poem is Nothing Gold Can't Stay by Robert Frost. Let's get started. But before we get into that, please listen and watch this video clip. Nothing gold can stay. Here we go.
Nature's first green is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaves a flower, loved only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes down to day. Nothing gold can stay.
Oh my, it's so heart touching, right? Alright, so Nothing Gold Can Stay by Robert Frost is about the impermanence of life. It describes the fleeting nature of beauty by discussing time's effect on nature. Frost is saying that all things fade in time, and that is partly what makes them beautiful. Overall, then, the poem argues that nothing pure or perfect can last. Life takes its toll on everything, and that awaits us all. The promise of spring is followed by autumn and winter. Green leaves will turn brown and begin to rot. Yet the poem may not necessarily be trying to create melancholy. Instead, perhaps it's pushing the reader to accept the reality of such transience in order to better appreciate golden moments while they last. So yeah, without further ado, I'll begin with an in-depth analysis of Nothing Gold Can Stay. Then it'll move on to discussing the piece's structure. Finally, it'll end with a note about the historical context. So the first one, the structure of Nothing Gold Can Stay. Nothing Gold Can Stay is an example of how Robert Frost used common American and rural imagery to discuss complex topics. There are no words in this piece with more than 3 syllables for instance. Even the rhyme seems as simplistic, and the rhymes come at the end of each line in couplets following a pattern AA, BB, CC, and DD. The second one, let's analyze line by line. Line 1. Nature's first green is gold. Nothing gold can stay begins with a simple statement. I believe the nature first green refers to spring. The poet is saying that the commonly accepted beauty of the first parts of green shooting up after a long winter is worth as much as gold. It is, of course, a fleeting beauty. The seasons will inevitably march on. The soft beauty also, spring soon fades to summer, and beyond. Line 2. Her hardest hue to hold. Her refers to nature, often personified as a woman or mother. And the hue is of course green, as explained in the first line. The second explains that the green of spring cannot last. In summer, the fields dry to brown. In fall, the leaves wither, change colors, and fall to earth. In winter, life is buried under a sea of white. It is impossible to keep a plant green forever, as any gardener knows. Line 3. Her early leaves as flower. This line of nothing good can stay is both a statement of faith and a metaphor. Obviously, in spring the trees will bud and flower before growing back their leaves. In that literal respect, the statement is completely accurate. Metaphorically, the winter is saying that the earliest leaves are as beautiful as a flower. In other words, spring itself is lovely as a flower. Line 4. But only so an hour. This line refers to her early leaf from the preceding one. On the literal level, the reader knows that the springtime blossoms last more than a mere hour. Metaphorically, the early beauty endures for such a brief and fleeting time that it could seem like it only really lasts for an instant. Line 5. Then leaf subsides to leaf. Here, the writer is describing that the first blossoms of spring are replaced. As I've mentioned before, nature adheres to a strict pattern. Plants sprout, bud, grow, wither, and die. Each part of the cycle brings a new aesthetic that is both new and familiar, different and the same. Line 6. So Eden sang to grief. In this line, the poet invokes the biblical Garden of Eden to further illustrate his point. As nature slowly progresses from spring to winter, so did Eden go from the cradle of humanity to a place in distant memory. Eden is a metaphor for both beauty in general and the perfect epitome of nature. Both of these ideas are fleeting and cannot last forever. Line 7. So dawn goes down today. The inevitability of decay is emphasized in this line. Just as the dawn, beautiful and unique, must always give way to daylight, beauty must always be replaced by something else. Frost is saying that sunrise is only a temporary or limited time, and all things must also be as limited. Line 8. Nothing good can stay, and this is the last line. In the final line, the poet drives home his point. Gold is a symbol for all things beautiful, important, and valuable. He is saying that gold does not last forever. He believes that this is true of all things found in nature, such as trees, streams, oceans, mountains, and even the sun and stars. Nothing is constant. All things change and all things fade to nothing. Now let's move to the next topic. The third one, historical context. Frost is one of the most famous and honored poets in American history. He often employed scenes from rural New England in his poems, using them to discuss complex philosophical topics. In Nothing Gold Can Stay, for instance, the poet uses the shifting of the seasons to comment on the fleeting nature of life and beauty. The poem was first published in 1924. It later appeared in a collection of Frost's work that earned him a Pulitzer Prize. The poem went through a few different versions and edits as well. The version that already we discussed before is widely recognized to be the most complete. Alright, now we are at the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and last I want to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching, and my special thanks to Miss Alisna Huan as my poetry subject lecturer that has given this final project. I think that's all. Cheers!